time it is? Well, it's Wednesday, so it's time for Mr. Nailsin's Wednesday Comics. I'm Mr. Nailsin. I know you didn't need to see this, but, well, you did. Too late to back out now. Well, for this episode, I'm going to do yet another segment on the Green Goblin, and I'm going to have to split it up a bit. So I'm going to do 2 issues of Spider-Man, of this particular Green Goblin tale, and then there's 3 more. Oh my goodness. So we'll wrap that up probably next week or maybe a little later, but hopefully just next week. And that'll wrap up this particular adventure in the strange and villainous saga of Green Goblin. So do enjoy. All right, our tale begins in the Amazing Spider-Man 176, although there was a bit of a prologue in the previous issue, but I don't have that copy, so, you know, we'll just have to make do. And I don't know if this particular Goblin story was ever reprinted in Marvel Tales. I don't think so. But then again, I could be wrong. So perhaps, just perhaps, I missed it. And see, I'm safe. So if anybody, writes in the comments, said, yeah, actually they did, it doesn't mean I was wrong, because I've allowed that I could be. So it's not like I'm telling a falsehood, because of the word perhaps gives me cover. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I'm not saying definitively. Oh, no. Oh, no. Anyway, this is Amazing Spider-Man 176. And here we have on the cover, something's happened to Flash Thompson. So Spider-Man's like, you? What have you done to Flash Thompson? And he's shocked to see this person. And then the little tag here says, nothing, web-slinger, compared to what the deadliest super foe of all is about to do to you. Gee, that hat kind of looks like the Green Goblin. Well, it's because it is. And but how can that be? Well, of course, the last time we saw the Goblin, it was actually Harry Osborn succeeding his father. And, well, Spider-Man managed to cover up that bit of nastiness, but Harry was completely unhinged and had to be taken to a sanitarium. And so that's where he's been dealing with his problems since then. But now all of a sudden, Green Goblin returns. How can that be? Because the original Green Goblin is dead, or at least he was back in these days. Yeah. So anyway, we'll get into it. But of course, I'm going to do 2 issues of this, and we'll follow up on the conclusion of it all later. So anyway, we're going to just jump ahead through a few pages here that'll deal with the story more or less. Obviously, I can't do it because it's, copyright and all that. So anyway, but when Peter hesitantly enters the good doctor's office, and this is the office of Harry Osborn's psychiatrist, who is missing. Uh-oh. Lord, this place is a shambles. What happened here? That's what we're trying to find out, friend. Well, it's the 70s, When Hamilton's secretary arrived this morning, she found the office like this, and the doctor's half-smoked pipe still on the floor. Near as we can figure it, one of his patients went off the deep end and did something to him. Boy, a lot, huh? And for the way my spider sense is tingling, I'm afraid I know which patient it is. See, there he is. That doesn't mean his head stinks. That means his spider senses are tingling. Yeah. So anyway, the cop suddenly realizes, hey, wait a minute. Hey, why am I telling you all this? Who are you anyway? You're not even supposed to be in here. Well, I'm waiting, fella. I want some answers. And I want them now. I'd really like to help you, officer, but I think I left my rhinoceros double parked. Hey, come back here, mister. I don't know where you think you're running to, fella, but you'll never outrun. Huh? I don't get it. He was right in front of me, just a few feet ahead. So what happened to him? He just couldn't have disappeared. Could he? If my hunch is right, I've got to get to Far Rockaway, and fast. So It almost makes it look like he's grabbing the ledge there, but he doesn't need to. He's Spider-Man, so he's just, I don't know why they drew it like that. But anyway, he didn't disappear. That's how he fooled that guy. So anyway, we jump ahead again, I believe. In case, why don't we precede our hero there and look in on a certain Flash Thompson? As soon as I put these groceries away, I'll head for Manhattan and see how Harry is making out. My rollicking roommate has been... Huh? Something's blocking the door. Hey, it's furniture. Now, how did that get there? Well, I can figure that out after I get it out of my way, and then... Sweet heaven! What happened to this place? It looks like it's been bombed. If this is somehow Harry's doing, I'll... Wait, what's this? No! It's impossible! That gizmo on the floor, It is indeed the unique bat glider, little man. Probably should call it a Goblin glider, because you know Batman and DC Comics wish they had thought of this device, but they didn't. So it belongs to the Green Goblin. So probably should call it Goblin glider. But yeah, it looks like a bat. It does. Anyway, and it belongs not to the simpering Harry Osborn, but to the Green Goblin. So there, now we know what happened. Oh, here we go. We're going to see it. Harry Osborn has been removed from the picture, Thompson. And if you're not careful, you'll soon follow him. Look, you can stuff the melodramatics, friend. I know you thought you were the Green Goblin in the past, Harry, but wearing that cockamamie costume doesn't give you the right to devastate our apartment. Bzzz. Now calm down before I go. The fool! I warned him, but now he has paid the price. There is nothing more to be gained here. Thus, I'd best take my leave before the dolt recovers consciousness. So anyway, as I was saying earlier, now we know the question to the cover. Yeah. Not a bad idea, Harry, but I'm afraid I can't let you do that. Wait a minute! Curse you, web slinger! I don't know how you managed to find me here. He just figured it out, you know. But you're not going to live long enough to do anything about it. Yikes! I'd almost forgotten the powers that costume possesses, Harry. But don't think they'll help you get past me, because they won't. My goblin sparks are more powerful than you think, insect. But I have more urgent matters than your death to concern me now. I don't know what you have in mind, old buddy. But there's no way I'm going to let you follow in your father's footsteps. You need professional help, Harry. And I'm going to see that you get it. So they tussle and have a fight and all this stuff, and Spider-Man is starting to get the upper hand, but goblins always fight dirty. Come on, Harry, give it up. Losing Liz Allen isn't the end of the world. You can make a new life for yourself if you try. So, yeah, Harry was dating Liz Allen, but of course, with all these problems, she kind of like, there's got to be better fish in the sea, so she dumped him. Don't worry, eventually they get married. Spoiler. But at the moment, it wasn't looking great. So Peter figures, hey, this sent him over the edge, I already have a new life, insect, and I won't let you take it from me. If you're so concerned about saving your friends, my dear web slinger, try saving Flash Thompson. Lord, oh, he's doing it again, just like he did to Gwen Stacy. The Green Goblin is murdering somebody near to me. You mean somebody you know, like a pal or something. This is hardly the equivalent of Gwen Stacy, But still, it's a rotten thing to do. And there's no way you can save him. So next issue, the return of yet another old foe in the shocker we call Goblin in the Middle. Need we say be here? I don't know what being here would do you, but you want to be in the next issue. which fortunately I have just mere moments away. Well, typically after you've read issue 176 of any particular title, it's typically followed by 177. And such was the case with The Amazing Spider-Man in this Green Goblin story. So there he is.
Stand aside, fools! The Green Goblin has returned!
How can we stop him? Forget the Goblin, how are we gonna stop him? The spider signal. So there's Goblin, you know, playing around with organized crime. Yeah, yeah. So a bunch of stuff happened in between, you know the rules, copyright and all that. Anyway, the next several hours pass in relative quietude. I guess that's the word. In Queens, the never-ending drama of Peter Parker's college education takes a momentary turn for the better. Well, let's take their word for it. While in a darkened warehouse on Manhattan's Lower East Side, a drama of a wholly different stripe is being played out.
Don't bother struggling, my friend. I assure you the bonds which hold you are quite secure. You may as well get used to your captivity, since you are going to remain here until I have achieved my ultimate ambition to become crime boss of all New York. Blast you! Don't argue with me. When I want your opinion, I'll ask for it. I've already covered your face because I couldn't bear to see you sniveling any longer. Don't force me to take more extreme measures. I owe you a great deal from our psychiatric sessions together, but I won't hesitate to kill you if necessary. I would advise you to remember that while I'm gone. Where am I going, you ask?
Well, he's really good at reading that or understanding it, you know.
I've learned there is to be a meeting tonight of all the city's top criminals, and the Green Goblin intends to be there to claim what is rightfully mine.
And even as the emerald-masked maniac's captive struggles vainly against his bonds. And we have to skip ahead of here and there, too, you know. But there's no stopping the Green Goblin this night.
The meeting tonight. Where is it? Unless you want to end up like your friend, you'll talk. Before I'm through, one of you will tell me what I want to know.
And, of course, one of them finally does. Please, Goblin, enough. I'll tell you everything. No, there's no stopping the Green Goblin this night. Not if one wants to live to see tomorrow. Peter Parker, meanwhile, has left his college textbooks untouched. Instead, his thoughts churning, he strolls alone through the almost deserted warehouse district and struggles vainly to make sense of it all. Why are the sins of the father always revisited on the son? Despite everything that's happened, despite all he's done, this really isn't poor Harry's fault. If anyone is to blame, it's Norman Osborn, Harry's father. And then, well, it wasn't really his fault either. It was an accidental chemical explosion which caused Osborn's brain damage and transformed him into the Green Goblin, the only foe who knows my secret identity. Or rather knew, because he was dead back then, but of course they brought him back, so I guess it's accurate now. But anyway, we battled repeatedly until that fateful day atop the George Washington Bridge, when the Goblin murdered Gwen Stacy, the girl who I loved. I went after the Goblin, then aching for revenge, but when Norman Osborn died as a result of his own actions, I mean, look, I just moved out of the way, but he's the one who got the glider coming at him, so don't blame me. I found out just how hollow vengeance can be. Well, unfortunately, his father's death totally unhinged Harry's already unstable mind, and he became the new Green Goblin, carrying on in his old man's footsteps, until I finally defeated him, and the authorities carried him away, raving like the lunatic he had become.
I'll get you.
Yeah. Meanwhile, back at the crime boss meeting.
Then you're in for a threat, my friends. To be honest, you haven't seen anything until you've seen the Green Goblin in action. Even though it's likely to be the last thing you ever see.
Watch out, he's coming.
You'd better answer me, Silvermane.
Silvermane's kind of the head boss here, and he becomes a much more significant character later on as a result of what happens in this whole ordeal. Yeah. Anyway,
I'm beginning to lose my patience. In one way or another, it's time to put an end to this charade. Now, Silvermane, do we talk? Or do I have to start getting tough?
what is it you want, Goblin? What could you possibly offer us that we don't already have?
I've been waiting for you to ask that. Of all the superheroes in this town, who causes you the most trouble? Who would you most like to see put out of your lives forever?
I guess Spider-Man. Yeah, Spider-Man.
Indeed, Spider-Man. Well, my friends, I can eliminate the web slinger for you permanently. You see, I know who Spider-Man really is.
No, the moment I've dreaded is finally about to happen, and there's no way I can reach the Goblin in time to stop him. The Green Goblin is about to reveal my secret identity, and when he does, Spider-Man is finished. Finished. Next issue, things go from terrible to worse. Be here. Well, not here, in the next issue. For green grows the Goblin. We promise you won't regret it. Well, he is green, but he's an adult. He's not going to grow anymore. But anyway, there we go. That's the deal he's making for them. He said, hey, which superhero bothers you the most? And it's a good thing they didn't say Daredevil. Then he'd be like,
Oh, really? Oh, I thought you were going to say Spider-Man.
well, yeah.
All right, we're going to go with Spider-Man.
Well, we actually,
No, shut up. We're going with Spider-Man.
something like that could have happened, but he lucked out. Turns out they're really pissed about Spider-Man these days. So there you go. Oh, no, what's going to happen? Well, we'll find out when I continue this particular chapter in the Green Goblin Saga. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that little tale, bits and pieces of it. Not a full read. For full reads of comic book stories, you'll have to check out my Sunday show, Mr. Nailsin Sunday Comics. See, it's kind of the same thing, but and I'll read some public domain comic books there because you can do that. I found that out some time ago. Pretty cool, huh? And then next Wednesday, more than likely, you know what? Even if I get around to some new comics to review and stuff like that, which is typically what I do for this particular show, then I'll find the time to do a separate show the same day on a Wednesday, and continue with the Goblin story. So how about that? It could be 2 shows for the price of 1. Well, both are free, but well, you get it's the thought that counts. It is. All right, see you then. Have a good one, everyone, and thank you again for watching Mr. Nailsin's Wednesday Comics. Yeah.